I'm joined on the line by our favorite interior decorator and a member of the Gaddis Partners team at RE/MAX Center, Kathy Pomerantz. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning, Cleve. Thanks for having me.
Oh, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you.
And same to you.
Let's talk real quickly about selling a home during the holidays. And Kathy, I'm just going to kind of open it up to you, let you talk about things that come to mind, and you and I'll just bat ideas back and forth, if that's okay.
Absolutely. And it really is a great topic because, it's the time of year everyone's dragging their things out of the basement and the attic and decorating for the holidays. And you just have to be a little bit more mindful if your house is on the market, not to overclutter, because you and I always talk about when you're staging your home, when you have it on the market, to declutter and less is more. Well, that still holds true during the holidays and even more so because we have a tendency to drag out every little Santa collection and every train collection and reindeer, and we don't want our houses to feel overwhelming and overcrowded, and we don't want to distract from the positive of space and open and airy feeling by just, covering every inch with every decoration that we have. So I would just encourage people to be mindful of that. And maybe it's just not the year to drag everything out that our children have made for us since preschool. That passed away.
And we've all got the macaroni, whatever it is. It's on the, exactly. So, Kathy, you mentioned something very important, and you're saying, hey, it's fine to be festive. It's fine to make sure everybody understands you're celebrating the holidays, and sometimes houses look their best during the holiday season.
Certainly.
But how do you know, and if you've just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I'm Cleve Gaddis, and I'm joined on the line by Kathy Pomerantz, interior decorator, also one of the sales associates on the Gaddis Partners RE/MAX Center team, so she works with us every day. Kathy is saying, hey, make sure you don't cross the line into cluttering your house. How would somebody, a seller who's not an expert in interior design or staging homes, how would they know when they've crossed the line? What kind of test could we give them?
Well, when you walk in the room and your eye only goes to the decor and the decor doesn't just complement the space, but you walk in and your eye goes right to the Santas on the mantle, and you don't even see the beautiful fireplace and the beautiful mantle.
So if it goes to the train set that is taken 3 weeks to set up in the family room, and it goes to all of the people in the train stations and the bridges and the rivers and stuff that people have set up, that might be a little much, right?
Exactly. And I think I've told you that story before. We had a buyer and we left the house and all of the husband could remember were the trains.
Yeah.
And it actually was the best house for them as far as layout and needing a bedroom on the main level. He didn't remember any of that. All he could talk about were the trains. So we don't want to distract from the great selling features of your home. That defeats the whole purpose.
So don't do anything, and I'm just trying to translate here. Mm-hmm. Don't do anything that takes away from people being able to determine how your space in your home can benefit them, their family, and their lifestyle.
Right, and how you and I always talk about, Cleve, we want buyers to walk through and be able to envision their things, their Christmas tree and their favorite things, not be so overwhelmed by yours that it just feels like your house and that it could never be theirs. So just a little greenery, a little white twinkling lights, a bowl of pine cones. A tree is fine, but not the year to get the largest tree that takes up 3/4 of the room. Maybe just a slim tree, and again, maybe just decorate it with complementary silver and gold balls that complement
kind of a classic, maybe less of the homemade decorations and a little bit more of the store-bought decorations.
Right.
Now, Kathy, is it a good idea to allow your wife and your 4 daughters, not that I'm married and have 4 daughters, to put a very large Christmas tree in the foyer, one that's so big you can hardly walk around it? Not that my daughters like to put it in the foyer every year, and I have to go around. I have to go through the dining room to get to the kitchen. I can't go through the foyer anymore. And by the way, they love it, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But that's the kind of stuff you don't want to do, because if you walk in the door and the entire foyer is taken up with your Christmas tree, they're not going to see how big and open and airy and bright the foyer is.
But a very slim, very tall tree could accentuate the fact that you have a wonderful open 2-story foyer. So again, I'm not saying don't put a tree in the foyer, but be very mindful that it's accentuating the positive architectural features and not distracting from them.
So it sounds to me like if you just joined us, you're listening to the Call Cleve Atlanta Real Estate Show right here on Talk Radio 640 WGST. I'm Cleve Gaddis, and I'm joined on the line by Kathy Pomerantz, an interior decorator and also a member of the Gaddis Partners RE/MAX Center team. If you need to reach us, you can call 770-497-0000, or you can go to gogaddis.com. That's GOGADDIS.com. If you have questions you want us to answer on the air, please feel free to send them in. Kathy, it sounds to me like it almost makes even more sense if you're going to list your home during the holiday season to have help from a professional stager. Because you just mentioned this, hey, Cleve, you can't put the big fat tree that's in the way in your foyer, but you can put the tall, skinny one that actually accentuates the positive of the foyer. And that's a very interesting concept.
Right. Exactly. And I think it is a good idea, perhaps, to hire a stager. And also, Cleve, remember that all these things we're talking about also applies to the exterior of your home. It's not the year to be the Griswolds and have every inflatable animal on your front yard. You know, if you want to have little white lights accentuating the interesting architectural lines of your roof, or, you know, this beautiful evergreen tree that you have sitting in the front yard, great. Again, accentuate the positive. Don't overwhelm with, you know.
So are you saying I should not staple lights all across my roof to not just accentuate the roof lines, but the entire roof? Is that what you're saying? I should not do that? I had my ladder set up. I have my heavy-duty stapler. I was hoping you were.
Ahead this year,
I was hoping.
Not selling this year.
Well, I was hoping you'd come over and help me with that. That you and I would get up on the roof together.
We'll get up there. Absolutely. That's what neighbors are for.
Well, a lot of people think about it. They say, you know what, if I can't get it sold during the holidays, I'm just going to wait because the market kind of shuts down. And I'm going to wait until March or April next year to list. But it's interesting. If we look back at 2014, if you said, hey, if an entire year's worth of sales were divided evenly over a 12-month period, you'd have 8.33% of the sales for the year that take place every month. I assume that makes sense. JD, does that math make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
And so in November of last year, almost 7% of the sales for the year took place. In December, Kathy, 8.5% of the closings for the year took place.
See?
For the year. In January, almost 6% took place. In February, over 6% took place. And then March and April and May, it went from 7.7%, 8.7% to 10%. So just in raw numbers, there will probably be 6,400 homes that close in the month of December in the Atlanta, Georgia market this year. And there will probably be somewhere between 4,000 and 4,500 homes that sell and close in the month of January. And then again, 4,000 to 4,500 homes in the month of February. So if you think you can't list your home this time of year and, number one, get a good price. Last year, by the way, December set one of the highest average sales prices for the year for the month of December, which is amazing. It blows my mind. But you can absolutely get a good price for your home, and there's lots and lots of activity. So, Kathy, what final tip do you have to leave with us in terms of selling your home over the holidays?
Just my usual mantra, Cleve, which is less is more. Keep it classy. Less is more. Accentuate, don't distract.
That is so true. That is so true. And if you want to learn more about that, you might want to think about listing your home with Gaddis Partners at RE/MAX Center. You can do that by calling 770-497-0000.